everybody, today is a good day. It's a bit cold, but it's a good day here in Fareham in the UK. My name is Carol and I'm a Reiki master. I do healing. I started 20 years ago doing hands-on healing with Qigong energy, the Chinese beautiful martial art. And I found I had this amazing gift by just using my hands and the energies around me to draw off problems or fill them in and around your aura. That led me on to crystal workshops, going to crystal courses, learning more about these healing hands that we all have, and the ability to actually realize there's more to us than meets the eye. It's been a huge journey. I had lots of things to heal myself. Well, that's really why I got into healing. I went for healing myself initially, and then I thought, well, sure, this can't be it. Well, the world has got to be a bit more exciting than the life I've had so far. And on I went, and it has been really, really exciting. A bit of a roller coaster, I would say. It's still like that, and I actually realised that it needs to be. If it's all on a straight line, I must be dead. I don't want to be there, and I certainly don't want to stagnate too much, because that's also an illness in itself. It's all right to put your brakes on occasionally, go, I need to slow down, but at the end of the day, your body is churning away and making progress and making fantastic things happen for you. Interesting enough, and this is why I'm doing these videos when I work with my clients. And they come for a myriad of reasons, and often they come for something, and that isn't even what happens when they come to me. They may be coming for a massage or Reiki, crystal work, psychic stuff. With all of the things that I do here, I actually do psychic stuff. So if somebody comes in and wants me to pass on some information, or you may have had an injury a long time ago, they'll pull it out because that's hindering your process in getting on a bit more. And in fact, as we start to talk, usually we get this sort of listen and answer question in between myself and my clients. It becomes quite apparent this little funny, quite often, sometimes very dismissive incident that happened in your life has actually caused on and on problems. And that's because your body's throwing the picture outside of yourself so you can interact with it until you go, oh, I got a feeling this might have actually happened to me. Perhaps I wasn't the onlooker. Maybe it needs a bit of work. And even if you think that, you think, well, what's that got to do with me? That happened years ago. I've been there, done that, blah, 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 blah. Actually, it's big time, because you don't want that to happen. You want to change your scenery. You want to move forward. You want new things to come into your life. If it keeps looking the old, same old, there's something within you haven't even realised needs sorting out. And it's never as scary as you think, or as painful as you think. It's not like going to the doctors or the dentist. It's much less painful when you come to a hands-on healer, because we're either going to have our hands here, so this is your body, and we're scanning you and then telling you about it. Or like Reiki as well, they're all using this energy around you that you can't see, but you can move your hands in. The energy you breathe, life force energy, you breathe it in and you breathe it out. That energy, there is no other energy that gives you life, but that one does. And it's that one that is used by us with our hands to energize and power it up. It's like turning on a light bulb. You can walk around in the dark all day long if you want to, and the darkness will stay there. It'll either be light in the day or dark at night, and that's, well, we know that's going to happen because we can see it. And the same with breathing. But if you really wanted to help yourself, that breath you bring in that actually feeds your body, and without it you would definitely be dead, it's the same energy for you to get that body working better. Okay, so there isn't anything scary about it. You don't need science to tell you about it. Science didn't invent breathing, and science didn't invent breath or all the stuff you breathe in. They're still trying to fathom out what on earth it all is. And there's no point telling us, because our brains can't calculate fast enough what we need to take out of the breath in and the breath out to feed our bodies. We just aren't capable of doing it. We know it's there, so we accept it. There's nothing spooky about healing or aiding or helping. It's there. Your body is situated behind your skin. This skin stops you from seeing all the workings, and if it wasn't there, again, you'd be laying on the floor in bits, because you need the skin to hold it all together and function properly. And then you have sections within your body, tissues, membranes, all sorts of things, and they hold all the various parts together. But the most magnificent part about you, and I mean this, is you, this you, the body you, the human body, not the soul, not the spirit, but this part, behind the scenery, is thousands upon millions of bits, and they all work together to keep you functioning, completely functioning. And you have no idea how that happens. You haven't got a certificate to make it work, and although you might go and study it, you can't study it all, and science still does not know how it all works together, how it all came to be whatever it is to work in the first place. It's an enormous amount of information, and most of it has gone with time. So no one has a certificate for that, and you're never going to know it either. But what you are going to learn here today is that your hands, your feet, and all of your skin, even the stuff we wear under jumpers and things, it's a bit nippy outside, is working tirelessly to keep this functioning going. All of this is talking outside of itself to this breath of life we call life force energy, constantly talking about how to get the heart to function. It's a bit squidgy at the moment. I'm getting a bit of cholesterol in it. It's trying its best to work before you need to go into hospital. It's trying its best to take whatever you take in, drinking wise and eating wise, to send it where it needs to be. And if it doesn't need to be, they want to get it out. If it can't leave, they have to find somewhere to put it. You do not do that as a soul energy. When I say the soul energy, that's the person like me. I'm talking. That's my soul. I came to learn. That's me, the soul. It's not the body. The human body doesn't need to learn anything at all. It was built brilliantly, and it chats to everything that made it. Imagine that. That's how phenomenal you are in your human body. As a soul, you are not phenomenal. You're a piece of electronic device that goes beep, 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 and that's it. You're either a dash or a spot, depending on what colour sequence you're at. That is all a soul is. It came in to learn something, and from here it will go and learn something else, and it will learn something else. But the human body, I was going to say that, all animals, all plants, the whole of the planet, the whole of the universe is chatting away constantly. And when something goes wrong in your body, and your body tries to seek help from outside of itself where it's chatting, often it needs the body, so our hands, our feet, let's get walking, we need to go to the doctor, we need to go to the hospital to rectify it, we need to go and ask somebody who might be able to rectify, I've got a pain in my hip, I've broken my leg, I've stubbed my toe, I've got an ingrowing toenail, oh, I need a tooth out here. We need to go and get those rectified, outside influences. And all those people who do those things, when they first came into being, were done by the body throwing it out there. We need people to take your teeth out. We need people to make your hair look lovely. We need hands-on healers to come back to us and use different energies. So the reason we are all here is so we can help one another. Everyone, whether you're academic, creative, and how you learn. We have people that we know, we can see, who are blind and deaf and have disabilities, and they sit in chairs all day. They're all there to teach us empathy, kindness, caring. I mean, the list that has perhaps been thrown out of the body to get people to wake up and see these are all things within the body. And still, most people never, ever hug themselves and say, do you know who I love? You. Because you this wonderful body is actually the only vehicle I have. There's no point loving anything else around you, because they are not walking for you, talking for you, doing anything else. They might be helping you, but this is it. Whatever this may be to you, it is it. And it doesn't work with anything that you do. The super intelligence, the intelligence is all within, under this skin layer. The skin is intelligent, but it backs itself into what's underneath this layer. Your bones, your muscles, your tendons, your sinews, your plasma, your water, your heart. And the list goes on. Why you're hot here, cold there, why this is that, why that's there. Why all these cells are walking around on your face, on your inside of you. There's so much going on. You look at the planet and you think that's big, and you can't take the enormity in. It's exactly the same as you. But what I wanted to teach people to actually start to realise is that when you bash your arm, you go, oh, God. Often you do touch it. Oh, God, that hurt. Don't leave it there, though. Comfort it. My God, that really did hurt. If it's your funny bone, you'll be going, that hurt, and laugh. But that's not a bad thing. Laughing causes endorphins. Endorphins are like bubbles. When you start laughing, your body starts giggling around. There's probably someone in your body going, what's she doing now? She's laughing. Oh, turn up the volume, guys. Let's get this repaired. She's laughing. She's stroking us. Oh, she's recognised that there's something underneath here that's keeping her functioning, instead of just getting on with it. So once you realise the most important person in your life is yourself, and if it doesn't function well, you will have to get help, but you can't get help on everything. There is no doctor in the world who's going to sit there and rub your arm for you all day long, but you can. And that doctor isn't going to rub your arm and go, do you know I really love you? Because you're probably looking at the doctor thinking, what? But once you start loving yourself and rubbing you, even holding my arm here, my arm is warming up underneath it. Because the possibility is, even on my body, and I do a lot of this myself, is that there will always be somewhere that's not quite right. Because look at the vastness of me. I may only be 5'6" and a size 8, but nevertheless, I have a vastness. This is how I was born. And I came with a history, an ancestral history going back at least 14,000 years. And in that ancestral history, I live in the UK, there's lots of things that's gone on in this country, let alone going anywhere else. The UK's had plenty of wars, so there'll be tears, losing people, astonishment, worry, concern, giving birth. And you're not always a female when you come back, so I may have been a soldier once. I may myself have been killing somebody. And then in this lifetime, I'm a female. So let's try out what a female feels about this. You know, we all have to play roles so that we get empathy. And they're shoving this empathy on us, and we're still fighting people. There's wars going on in today's world. And we can't cope, and we can't go there because it's not around us. So we have to hope that the people who can cope, who are built for it, other soldiers, other armies, can go over there and try and calm it down. And the peacekeepers, they try and get in and try and talk round the table. And you can't stop a war by fighting a war, because who's going to be first to do that? There aren't many people that are going to put the flag out and say, do you know, we're going to have a truce? There's always someone itching to get the one last word in and itching to get the thing in. And that's standard of life. If you're a person that always wants to have the last word, you're not going to stop a war, because you'll say, no, we're not having that. I want to put my stamp on it. It's not going to work. It needs people to sit around the table and chat. But that is your body throwing this example out so you can see it. So the people who drive these wars, they're constantly seeing the same thing to say, stop it. You kill and harm too many people. One person it takes, 2 people, one either side, and they can kill 1 million people in a day. It's shocking. And they should be had up for that. But on a gentler note, you're looking after your body. But your body has millions of pieces to it that makes it what it is. So if you stopped worrying about out there and came into you and started to realise that your head, your eyes, your ears, your face, your fingers, your toes, every part about you needs you to go, oh my God. God, I remember when I had that baby and I had to have a cesarean. Oh, the pain. And I've never really said, oh my God, I never knew that was going to happen. But thank you for that child, or thank you for teaching me something, or oh, so sad. You know, you may have lost your children. They might have, unfortunately, never made it outside. They may never have lived a long time, but still honour your womb and yourself. It's so important. And then your husband or your partners, and make sure everyone feels they can talk about things. This is healing. You are healing a wound and a trauma. Each step and time that you take to go through all of these things changes your whole outlook, because your body will no longer throw out there what you've seen. It will then bring in everything new. You may then find yourself moving somewhere new. But when you get there, you don't want the same role play. You want it to be exciting and fantastic, and people to be going, wow, because you know what you did before. You know all the horrible things that might have happened to you before. You know what people can be like, and that's fine. That's what they're like. But if that's not what you like, and even if it was, you want to dump it, because it doesn't work anymore. I've always been a healer, and I love it. I really do. And I do get it when people say, well, why should I pay you, and various other things. Why should you pay me? But I do need to live. I can't buy food, unfortunately. I wish I could. Wish I could walk down the road and go to Marks and Spencer's and go, I'll have that, that and that. Oh, I'm a healer. No one pays me. I'll have it for free. Cheers. Would be nice, but it's not real, is it? That's not very real. And then there are other people who do get paid. What do they do? Oh, I do insurance. Oh, you take my money for my house and my car. And, you know, let's be sensible. If you want it for free, you work for free. Everything's free. That is absolutely acceptable with me. I can run down that one. But don't ask me for free. These videos are definitely for free. And the reason I do that is because this was how you were. When you were born thousands of years ago, you automatically, every time you injured yourself or saw something and thought, oh my God, I've just seen someone fall over and they've injured themselves. Oh my God, they're dead. You would have healed that thought. You would have healed what you saw. Your body doesn't need the trauma. It doesn't want to be sad inside. It's trying its hardest to keep you alive. And it's doing a phenomenal job because you're phenomenal. So then you can go up and go, oh my God, and you'd lay your hands on somebody. And even if they'd gone, you'd help them to go over quickly and painlessly. Because that's another thing that people don't realise, is that when you die suddenly, and you didn't know you were going to die, car crashes, people have heart failures, all sorts of things, they didn't want to die. And they find themselves standing there looking at the scenario. There's their body on the floor. Everyone rushes to it and they can't do anything. They can't even speak to you. And they get really sad. And sometimes they get trapped right there where they've died. They're so traumatized, they cannot move. So people coming up and going, oh my God, or I hope they go over to their past loved ones, whatever. If you go up and you send energy into them, to send them on to the people who love and care for them, because they may be miles away, you don't know the story, but if you send that, you're not harming anything, you're sending that person on and helping them move away from the scene where they were. And while you're helping them move on, a light will come into them and help them move them away, even though they're dead and it's traumatic. It's the same as you being in an accident or in some awful scenario, like in America with the fires, and your house is removed from you, and you just get away with your life. That, if you held on to yourself, oh, we got away, oh, thank you, body, thank you for guiding me. I don't know why, but you sent me in that direction. It was the right one, because you were listening to your intuition. You can thank yourself and then say, I would like to send healing to all the people that maybe haven't made it, or have had horrors and had to, I want to send healing. And because you understand it, just that saying will send that healing out. It is absolutely phenomenal what you can do, and it's just you and your hands, literally. There is always going to be times when I've had people come with nerve damage in their legs, and by chance I met a guy, he had nerve damage in his legs from football, and he had all the money in the world to pay for the best treatment, and he had treatment. They said, we can't really heal your leg properly, but we'll send you a physio. So every week he had a physio. For 2 days it was all right, but went back. He was told to go running on a road. I thought that was incredibly daft. But anyway, when we started chatting, he was telling me all these things. And I said, well, what happens? Because I've seen you walking around. He said, well, I can. He said, but I can't quite get my leg to work properly. He said, I've overcompensated with other ways, but I don't play football anymore, and I do a bit of running to keep fit. I said, when you said you run on the road, why do you do that? I said, you've injured your leg, especially your nerve system, and now you're running on the road? Don't you need a bit of sort of... I said, I don't get it. I said, run on the grass. Run on something soft. Your nerves help spark and move your muscles out. It's that energy. It's fight or flight, I suppose. It's movement. I said, but if you're running on something really hard, how's that going to help? Because you haven't got the sparks moving in your, the nervous system. And he said, well, I've always thought that, but that's what they said. I said, well, go by what you think, because your body's telling you, get off the road. But I said, anyway, sitting with this guy, I was chatting, and I said, oh, show me what you mean. Anyway, his friends said, look, I can chop her on the knee and nothing happens. Well, fair enough. He hit him on the knee and, your leg sort of moves involuntary. And I said, well, certain things can actually be worked with your hands, believe it or not. So I said, I'm not going to touch you because I'm just not going to touch you. I said, well, not at the moment anyway. But I just rest my hand above your thigh. I said, so I had it about 5 inches away. I said, now just tell me if you feel anything. And he thought it was quite funny, naturally. So I had my hand above his thigh, and he said, well, actually I can, but not where your hand is, but actually on my calf muscle. He went, ooh. I said, oh, that's painful, isn't it? He said, what? I said, well, I can feel the nerves kicking in on my hands, and that's extreme. I have to say, it is painful. Trust me, it's extremely painful when the nerves start to work again. I said, well, I'm going to keep my hand there, but I'm going to use my spare hand. I'm just going to put my hand near your leg, and I actually am going to touch 2 points on your legs. They're telling me to use these 2 fingers. So I did that. Who knows what I'm touching? I've no idea. I've just been told what to do. So I touched that, have my hand above his thigh again, start moving my hand to his knee, and his leg starts kicking. He went, whoa, it's involuntary. I said, how did that happen? He said, oh God, I can feel some weird stuff going on inside my leg. I said, enjoy it, just get on with it. I said, nothing else. I said, it's only weird because we're joining back the nerves. I said, nerves are a very interesting piece of kit because they don't actually have to always be where they were. I said, I read a fantastic article years and years ago, 30 years ago maybe, to do with the head, where they slice the head over and grow nerves and all sorts of stuff on the head. One of the easiest places to do it. I said, it's so fascinating. And in animals, nerve systems all grow back in place again. I said, it's just interesting, and you can wire them yourself. I said, a bit like a circuit board, really, I suppose. Anyway, by the time I'd finished, he was like, oh my God, I could jump up and down in the air. I said, well, why don't you? So off he wandered, and exactly that, he said he came back, I can't get over it. In fact, he couldn't stop hugging me. I said, well, now you've done that, just very gently cup your hands and slide them up your calf muscle and round, but very gently indeed to begin with. Let your body get used to your hands, and if you do one leg, you have to do the other. So we did laugh about it. I'd show him all sorts of massage techniques. I said, and that will strengthen your leg. I said, and I'm being told, cut your I said, whoever comes around your house, the physio, I said, I know you're stonkingly wealthy. I said, but money doesn't buy you the best. Trust me. I said, they're showing me someplace downtown in where he lived in America. I said, it looks like a Rosie Lee type shop. It's probably somewhere you wouldn't normally visit. But they're telling me to go there. She's very good masseuse. And he said, I know exactly the shop you mean. He said, because a lot of the families I go to her, and they always laugh that she's like literally with the ball there. And he said, but she does massage, and they all recommend her. He said, but I've always thought, nah, not going in there. Look at the state of the place. I said, well, you're missing a trick, because she is going to work on your leg, and she'll actually tell you a bit more information, and also who to go to, who are the right doctors, and what not to do. I said, you go and see her. I don't know who it is, but they're telling me to go and see her because he lived out in the States. So that's the sort of thing that happens. And so this healing, this work that you're going to do for yourself is phenomenal, literally phenomenal. And as I say, it's free. But there are times you will need to go and source out people, professionals like myself, all around the world, who can do some extra bits for you. And that's what I do. I mean, I have people come around the world. I have people who meet people I know and say, oh, they get chatting and say, Carol does clairvoyance. Oh, she might be able to help me out. I mean, I did one from a Caribbean cruise in the, where were they, near St. Kitts. It was with my mum, and this woman said, please can you ask your daughter, I know she'll help us. We're seers, my family, my mum's here, my mum's here, I'm here, and my daughter. She said, but there's something we need help with. And you've mentioned your daughter, and someone's telling me she can sort you out. And I did. It was absolutely profound. And I sent an email to my mum to say, this is exactly what I saw in this vision. I see visions, a bit like a film taking place, really, a real film. And I said, if you send this to this person, give this to the person to read, I'm sure that will be helpful. And Mum came back and said they couldn't stop crying, and she said, I knew your daughter would do it, thank you. It's complete closure for us now. So there are things like go on. I can't explain any of this in real terms because I don't understand it all. It's too enormous for me to understand. And there are people who have come to me through recommendations. One lady, she was terminally ill with cancer, and she had had all sorts of things done, and she was on the last, however long she had to live. And she came, I went round to see her, initially to give her a massage, but when I got there I took some really hefty crystals with me, because I'd been drawn to them before I left. And when I get there I said, I'm ever so sorry, my massage couch is in there, but I've been told to do something completely different with you. Did body scanning, stuff like that, and then afterwards we chatted away, and I said, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave these crystals at your house and I'll pick them up, you know, whenever. We didn't make an arrangement there and then to meet again, but I just said, oh, they want to stay and they're quite happy to stay, as long as you don't mind. And she was like, no, you don't even know me. I said, well, they do. They obviously know exactly who you are and what you need. I said, and they want to stay. It's fine by me. Anyway, I walked off, and when I got home, I got a phone call to say, can you come back on Friday, the following Friday? And I was, yeah, okay. What happened? And apparently she hadn't been able to kneel down properly. She used to always sit on the floor with her legs underneath her and kneel down. She hated chairs and things like that. And her friend came round to see how the session went for massage. And she said, oh, she didn't do any of that. And she said, no, look at you. And she was kneeling on the floor. And she hadn't done that for 2 years while she was having all this cancer treatment. So I went back round, and my guides asked her, what would she like? They had a gift for her, what would she like? And she said, I'd like to be able to walk again. With all the treatment and injections and things, she now couldn't walk anymore. And she lives in Sutton in the UK. And she wanted to park in the car park, husband to park in the car park, walk down these stairs in this big shopping mall, and then walk up Sutton High Street with her children and her grandchildren, so they'd remember her walking and not in and out of a wheelchair. She got that. I went back 4 times and did energy work. And each time I went back, she said, I'm getting better, Carol. I'm getting there. And on the last time I went, I gave her a massage. And she accomplished that. She walked up the hill, went up to the big supermarket at the top, so that her family would remember her walking. And that is utterly profound. I have got to say, I have done other things like that. Who knows why they do them, but if it's feasible, the spirit world can do it. Not me, but through me they can do that. And yeah, I've met many people. I've met people, I've had friends who have gone through cancer, all terminal, strangely enough. None of them have been given the green light at the time when I met them to stay alive. Although I do have friends who've had cancer stay alive. But the ones I'm thinking of weren't so fortunate to have that green light at the very beginning of their diagnosis. But at least everyone, they knew they were loved by lots of people, because more people came out the woodwork to say they were loving them and there for them. It's very important to be there for people who have been told there is an end of life expectancy. I feel myself, and no power of hands seem to work always, but sometimes just being there is that point. So I think in my first clip of this I worked on the head, just holding hands in different places, but on this one it is really for you to realize the phenomenal body you have. It's here and it loves you utterly to death. It loves you so much and it wants you to have an incredible life, an incredible journey. And yes, there is all this abundance outside of you, and that can be created more and more as your intuition becomes stronger and stronger. And that can only really happen when you really are talking and loving this. Once you are loving your human body, your world will change miraculously and be out there. Your body as well, how can I say it? It's chatting all the time, and the more you learn about yourself, and it's a knowingness. Intuition is a knowingness. You're not knowing it from out there, because out there is random. In here is solid, it knows. But this energy is talking constantly. It's talking to birds, it's talking to the sun, it's talking to the moon, it's talking to the whole of the planet. It's talking to every tree, how the water moves, how the wind flows. It's constantly in communication. So when you go outside, if you go outside to different places, to the forest, you walk on the earth, literally barefooted. You walk over stones as uncomfortable as they are. You sit on a beach, whether it's sandy or stony or rocky. You look at the sea. You don't necessarily have to go in it. But if you watch how the sea lays, science calls it a skin on top when it's not moving. Because if you look at your hand and you get different shapes, I don't know if you can see different lines on my hands, but they are all the patterns of the sea where it sits, and then movement is underneath it. If you look enough and start to study everything, you'll realise there is a layer of skin around most things, and then there is the functioning parts all underneath. And that's the ability you start to learn once you start to go to you, because your body will start to show you its real beauty, its divineness, its life, it's how it came into being. So that everything that you start to see is this massive projection of your body, and your body will be singing to everything out there in the universe, saying, she's woken up, he's done it again. Oh, he took part in a race, but he told us this time. He stood there and he went, oh, do you know what, by the way, feet, legs, you've really got to work for me now. I'm going to do a 26 miler. I'm doing it as a bet. Yeah, I'm raising funds, but I really want to try and go as fast as I can, or as far as I can, or whatever. And I know we've all chatted, but I need, and suddenly your body switches on. He's going to do a 26 miler. I was like, what? 26 miles? Well, we need to start serving energy. And your body works it out, because the intelligence is your body. So if you explain all of this to your body, what's going to happen? A new job, a new way of doing something. You want to go sailing. You've got to learn it on the outside world. You got on a boat and you look around you. But why your body is looking around itself and touching things. Oh, that's hard, oh, that's soft, I've got to pull that. You learn the ropes and the bits that move and how to cook, and there's the galley, there's the toilet, wherever, and the front and the back, so you know the terminology when you're working with other people to keep yourself safe and them. But your body is already working it out. And then your body goes into shit and it's like, oh God, I can't stand this. And some people's bodies do not like this movement all the time. It puts them out of sync. There are lots of sailors who get seasickness all the time. Your body, it doesn't matter if you talk to it because you're tilting it. Something in your body may not be able to take it. You're not going to like everything in life, but you have an opportunity now to work with one other energy, and that energy is the whole of your body, which, as I say, is made up of billions and trillions of things, but when you talk to it, it works as one. It is phenomenal. There is nothing as phenomenal anywhere other than in you. So when people use the term inner work, you're already there. If you look in your mirror and you talk to yourself, you can say, I got it, I'm going to start loving myself and stroking myself. Oh, my back hurts today. Oh, you know, stand there like this. Feel your back. And if you're not sure of the bits of your spine, if you really wanted to know those bits, look it up. It'll show you where your spine from the top of your head to down here on the coccyx bit, if you wanted to learn that bit. You don't have to learn it. Their sort of things are good for operations. You're going in for a major operation, it's worth saying to your body, I'm having a major operation. I'm going to have some work done on my arm and they're going to work on this part. If you say to the body and you're looking at a picture and you're reading it back, your body's reading that already. And it's like, ah. And as you're running your finger down the picture, for instance, and saying, oh, that's the muscle to yourself, your body going click, 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 click. You, Joe Blogs, the operation's going to be in your sector today. Oh my God, what's that mean? Well, you're going to have gas and air or an injection or we've got to be ready for it then. Yes, your body starts prepping itself already. It will send out information to where you're going. You say, I'm going to go to St. Peter's, St. Mark's, I'm going to go down the road to the Royal Victoria Hospital. You say where you're going, you tell your body all of the information, you even show imagery if you want to, and your body will already start working towards it. Because it's not you, the soul, that keeps your body alive, it's your human body from inside your head to your feet that keeps you alive. So please, everybody, just talk to yourself, your own body, either out loud or in your head. It's so important, and you will notice the change almost instantly. If you've got a pain and it's been recurring and recurring, you're taking painkillers, which eventually will cause you more problems. You take more pills, and it goes on and on and on. Sod it. Carry on taking them, but put your hands on the area and say, do you know what? I think I might have done a mistake here. I've had a pain here for ages, years maybe. And I got a feeling it started here, but if not, can you direct me to it? So if it's your stomach, which probably if you've been taking painkillers and God knows what else, is definitely a place to start. Put your arms around your stomach, gently. If you're going to work on your stomach, it's always clockwise. So if I stand here, you always go from your left leg round the top of your belly button and down. Because that's the system, how it works. All the food comes down here, around there. All right, you don't want to go the other way because trust me, your hands will be working whether you think they are or not. So if you do that and hold your stomach, say, I'm so sorry. I think I might have really got this bit wrong. I thought popping all these pills to make me feel better, and they haven't, have they? Because those pills I've been having so long must have caused a bit more damage, because now I take another set of pills and I think I might take another. Don't stop taking any of your medicine, but just see if the pain goes. Give yourself a week, because if I was laying my hands on your stomach and it was literally a pain, and I've had people come to me for serious car accidents, whiplash, all sorts of things, and then we get to the root of the problem, you may well find that pain goes. Then you can go back and have it investigated to make sure that whatever you were taking the pills for has definitely gone, or they can reduce the doses down until you feel you're strong enough or well enough. But do not stop taking anything that you're taking, but be aware that when you are ill, sometimes you don't need that medicine. But never ever stop taking it. And always talk to your doctor. And most doctors and nurses around the whole of the world, I can certainly say for the UK, when you start chatting about things, they've got books. They'll flick through and say, well, what is it you're now doing? Is that? I mean, touching yourself and saying, do you know, that's all right, is ancient since you were first born. Your children, when they fall over and you go, oh my God, that's your leg. Oh, I'm so, there. Come on, let's start doing that to yourself. And as I say, hug yourself and say, yeah, thank you. When you go to bed at night, oh, thanks everybody, woohoo. I always get into bed, give myself a hug, rub my legs. And I say, oh, thank you very much, body. Thank you very much, legs. Oh, arms, you were perfect today. Oh, where did you come out with that? You know, you will be surprised, actually, really surprised at just how much intelligence you and your body have that make you, and you will see the difference. I mean, I still suffer with loads of things, and I have asthma. I take asthma pills. I'm not going to stop my asthma pills. I've had them since I was 11. Pneumonia, and I got asthma. I've even tried going back and sorting that out. And there may be over time that will go. Sometimes I tell myself that's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, and things do go. I can talk about that on another video, how you can use the power of your own mind. But first of all, I really want everyone to get connected. As I say, the most super intelligence there is here, 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 there, in your legs, on the end of your feet, on the end of your nose. That's your super intelligence. There's nothing else as intelligent that you can go and find. Each person is a super intelligence. Your partner, your husband, your children, they all own their own super intelligence. And once every single person is hugging and saying sorry, or can you help me with this? You know, I'm taking my exams next week and I know I'm going to fail because I just don't seem to be able to concentrate. The more you start to attach yourself to yourself, the less likely you are to get that wrong. And your intelligence will shine constantly. So please, let's get going. Intuition is where you're going into. You can call it whatever you like. I've got no problems with it. I like intuition because you're an intuitive being. I love it. The best thing I love the most is that word love. When you start here, acknowledging who's who, that's love. So the only person you ever need, can you imagine it, if the whole world was in tune completely with their body, hugged it, said how beautiful it was, there'd be no need to love anybody else because every person will be bubbling with love, be massive. You'd walk up to people and you'd be like, wow, you'd be able to feel it. You wouldn't say I love you because you're too busy loving yourself. You'd be bubbling. Everyone you meet would be bubbling. You'd have tribes and tribes of people who somebody falls over and hits their head accidentally and everyone turns around and then just goes like that and looks at the person and is sending their energy, which is pure love. They get up, be nothing wrong with them. What a bloody good world that would be. Then if you want to go jet skiing, skydiving, ride your horse, sit on the beach, sew, knit, you'd be able to do all those things. You'd be able to do far more things than you've ever thought of. But you'd be helping yourself. And once everyone is connected and helping themselves like this, which is completely not selfish, because you're actually turning to your body, which gives you life. And the life force you're using is here. That is life force. Nothing else. It's not magic. It's not hocus pocus docus. And everything that you see in science, every scientist, the fantastic scientists, they get it because their brains are working out there. No other way. They might not look after their bodies, but their brains are working out there. But you too could have a brain working out there in whatever genre you originally were born to come here and do. And that's when your body will start guiding you and bringing to you the existence that you were meant to have. And everybody on the planet was not meant to be poor or suffer. That was never the game plan. It is going. I've seen it go. I know what's going to happen. So on that game plan, I know they're going. The soldiers of darkness, or whatever you want to call them, they're out. But everyone still has to do a lot of work on themselves to love themselves and don't get left behind. This year, 2025, is super, super intelligent time, and don't get left behind, please. It's very important. I can't stress, in fact, it makes me quite worried or upset about people who are going to go, nah, it's not for me. I'll keep popping those pills. Please, just love yourself. Put your arms around your body and love who you are. It's so important to start telling your inside body how amazing it is. Breathe in, that's intelligence. Breathe out, that's also intelligence. But it's been used by your intelligent insides, and now they're expelling what they don't want. But there'll be something out there that does. And there'll also be something out in this area that's going to transmute that, and it already has, into breathing it back in again to help you live. That's super intelligent, and you are part of that. So, on to our next video, but this one's about you. All my videos are going to be around you and you healing yourself, all right? And this healing, aiding, helping, whatever. But we need, as a planet, all of us. The animal kingdom will soon change. And when it comes to you for help, if you cannot help it, you will realize how you've wasted a lot of time worrying about, I've got to get a bigger house, I need a faster car. When that animal comes for help, you've got to put aside that it's got claws that are out here somewhere and its teeth are like that. You've got to put all that aside and go, actually, I can help you. You can live in my house. I'm not going to carve you up and chuck you on the wall and just have a carcass there. Because I've now learnt from my body that the reason you've come to me is because my body is made up of tiger. I'm not going to eat you because you're a shark. I'm actually going to need you. I need you for my nose. I need you for certain parts here. I need you for my legs. There are lots of parts of our bodies that belong to animals that we are badly treating at the moment and have done for years, hundreds of years probably. Shark is one. If all sharks became extinct, there are parts of our bodies that will no longer function. And part of that is the breathing system of our bodies. And that is a worry. There are other ways to breathe, but they're not very easy. There are people who know that, and there are other people that really couldn't care less. If you really want to get the energy from an animal, if you love your body will just go out there and go tick, and in dots and dashes, you'll receive that energy instantly, which is what these are for. Dots and dashes come into my hands, they go onto you, and it's sorted. You don't need to eat it. In fact, eating something to make yourself well that's an animal, well, I'm not against, you can eat stuff for food, survival, that is fair enough. But to kill en masse sharks by yanking off their fins and throwing them back into the drown, that energy then radiates out all over the sea. It has actually been, I have worked on that a little bit, but not in this lifetime. That'll only heal completely when it's healed by human beings who started this torture. Those people know who they are. When they die, they're not dying. It's a whole new ball game. There's a lot of things that people don't realise. You feel you can torture someone or kill someone or harm someone, but then when you die, you don't go where you think you're going. You have to go into a housing and have to wait. One, you're going to be accepted by the people who are already over there. And if they're running the show, the answer will possibly be no. And you can't cross back. Anyway, there's a lot of things out there for a lot of people to think, but we're just going to work on the body. Once you get to this point and you really know who you are and you love yourself, you'll know all these things. I won't have to explain it because you'll know. And you've only got this year, maybe up to, they're saying maybe up to February next year, 2026, to decide which camp you're in. I know which camp I'm in. See you soon.